Honestly, my hands are still shaking a little bit while I'm recording this. You ever have those moments where you realize the person you grew up with is actually a complete stranger? Like, you share the same blood, but their heart is just cold. Anyway, my brother just called me screaming about the trash I took from the house. He's so focused on the real estate and the cars that he completely missed the only thing that actually mattered. And that's exactly why I'm smiling right now. Here's the thing. My name is Elena Vance. I'm 34, and up until yesterday, I thought I knew exactly how my life was going to go. I live in a quiet part of Seattle, work in archival restoration, and I've spent the last 3 years basically living out of a suitcase at my mom's place in the suburbs. She was sick for a long time. Cancer is a thief. It just steals pieces of a person until there's nothing left but a shell. I was the one there for the chemo appointments, the one changing the sheets, the one holding her hand at 3 a.m. when she forgot where she was. My brother, Marcus, he's 40 and lives this high-gloss life in Chicago. He'd call maybe once a month, ask if she'd updated the will, and then hang up. It was always about the will for him. We grew up in this massive old Victorian house that's worth a fortune now. Mom always said she wanted it to stay in the family, but she wasn't specific. Well, she passed on Tuesday night, just a quiet Tuesday. And by Wednesday morning, Marcus was in the driveway with a lawyer and a locksmith. He didn't even hug me. He just handed me a legal notice and told me I had 48 hours to clear out my personal junk before he listed the property. I remember thinking, this can't be real. We just lost her and you're measuring the square footage? The lawyer sat us down in the kitchen, the same kitchen where Mom used to make us blueberry pancakes, and read the update. Mom had changed things 6 months ago while I was out getting her prescriptions. She left the house, B Investments, and the vintage Jaguar to Marcus. I got the contents of the basement storage unit, which is basically 20 years of damp cardboard boxes and broken holiday decorations. I looked at Marcus, and he had this smirk, this hideous, triumphant look. He leaned over and whispered, "I got the house, you got the trash, Elena. Don't let the door hit you on the way out." I didn't cry. I didn't even argue. I just walked down to that basement. I spent all night sorting through the trash. Marcus was upstairs drinking Mom's expensive scotch, celebrating his new asset. But let me be honest, I knew something he didn't. Mom was a researcher for a private firm in the 90s, something to do with early encryption and digital keys. She'd always told me that if anything happened, the most valuable thing she owned wasn't the roof over her head, it was her legacy. I found it at 4 a.m. behind a false wall in a literal crate of old textbooks. It was a small, heavy black safe. No brand, no keypad, just a biometric scanner that looked like it belonged in a movie. I didn't try to open it there. I just tucked it into a box of old clothes, walked past Marcus, who was passed out on the designer sofa, and loaded it into my car. That's when something shifted. I got back to my apartment and just sat on the floor with that safe. I remembered Mom telling me once that the world was going to change, and she'd made sure I'd be the one holding the remote. I placed my thumb on the scanner. I didn't think it would work. I thought maybe it was for her, but it turned green and there was this soft, mechanical click. Inside wasn't money or jewelry. It was a single hardware wallet and a stack of physical bear bonds from a company that doesn't officially exist anymore. I did the math. I've been staring at the screen for 3 hours. The house Marcus is so proud of is worth maybe $2 million. This trash I took, it's closer to 15. And the best part is the legal language of the will. He inherited the estate, but I inherited the contents of the storage. Everything inside that safe is legally mine. My phone has been blowing up for the last 20 minutes. Marcus finally went into the basement and realized the junk he gave me wasn't just old clothes. He's realized there's a gap in Mom's records. He's calling me sis now, asking if we can talk about the distribution. I'm just sitting here, watching the sun come up over the city. I'm not answering. I'm going to let him keep the house. It's old, it's drafty, and it's full of ghosts. I've got the future in a small black box, and for the first time in years, I can finally breathe.